tonight to celebrate this awesome achievement here. I say it every single time, and I'll continue to say it as long as I'm at Hononegah or in the sports world, our educational sports world. This is what we do this for. The whole reason that I'm in the position that I'm in, where I get to direct sports and talk with coaches and build leadership out of our students, is for this type of a thing, to move them on, to be able to go to the next level and play a game that they love, that for almost everyone I've ever come across, they've been playing their whole life. So this is no exception. Very thrilled with Wartburg, great school, number one, but also a phenomenal athletic school across the board. So really excited for you, want to congratulate you. A couple things real quick, and I've said this a lot too with our signings, and I just checked this again because she didn't give me much information on grades and all of that. But I just looked through grades, and one thing that I always say about our student athletes at Hononegah is they get it done in the classroom. Perfect example here again of basically a straight A student in all honors AP classes, and that's really again what matters. Getting it done in that classroom, having that work ethic to make sure that you're prepared for all your tests, AP tests included, and being able to go on to college and play, again, a sport that you love. So I want to congratulate you. This is an awesome achievement. Going to a great school, again, a school that basketball-wise is in the top 25 and is a perennial power within the Division III basketball world. So couldn't be more proud of you or happy for you. So congratulations. At this time, and I apologize, I've got to yell. I actually did ask for a speaker and a microphone this time. It just didn't get set up. But at this time, I want to introduce our head basketball coach, Coach Jason Brooke.
All right, welcome everybody. First of all, congratulations, Jordan. Congratulations on this ball. This is an outstanding achievement. It's great every time I get to come up here and do this. And we've had quite a few of them this year, and that's an outstanding reflection of obviously our players, obviously the support of their parents, and everybody else who's helped coach them along the way. So you know, obviously thinking a little bit about Jordan, it seems like we've been together a pretty long time. You know, for those of you who don't know too much or follow too much, we grew up a lot together. Jordan's freshman year was my first year stepping into, and of course there's a lot of crazy things going on back in 2020. And so first of all, I probably have to apologize to you, Jordan, for having to live with me growing up in this role as well. All the mistakes I probably made that you were probably thinking. But you know, one of the things, you know, Jordan stepped in as a 4-year starter in this basketball program, and that is something that absolutely should not be taken lightly. You know, as you think about, you know, and I reflect back on that decision, it wasn't that difficult to make. You know, when she stepped in, obviously a lot goes into playing varsity basketball. It's a whole nother level of physicality and, you know, skill. Obviously is at the base of all of that. But one of the things that really stood out to us and our coaching staff and watching Jordan and making that decision was her approach. And as I talk to all the young people, I always like to pull something for all the younger players in here and what we can take and learn. Her approach the moment she stepped on that basketball floor out there 4 years ago was all business. She was here with a purpose, she had focus, she had the mentality of what it took. And that's a hard thing to do. I mean, you're competing with players who are 3 years older than you. And no question in our mind that Jordan was ready for that. And it all started up here. Obviously, you got to be physically strong enough, you got to be skilled enough, but she had what it took, and she had the approach to come into practice every single day and say, I'm here for a reason, and that's to get better at basketball. And obviously, you know, as you looked, it wasn't necessarily all roses. There were growing pains along the way and all that. But the bottom line is, there's no coincidence that this program has had the success that it's had over these 4 years. Jordan's been an outstanding part of that. So, as you think about that, I'll talk a little bit about her character first. Consummate team player. You know, any coach loves players that are no nonsense, obviously, as I talked about, and will do whatever is asked of her from the very beginning. It was never a question, you know, whatever role we asked her to play as a coaching staff, it was never a question about it. She never hesitated, she never objected, she never came and asked about things. It was, I get it, and I'm going to do what you're asking me to do. And that's something that's an outstanding, selfless act that Jordan has had for 4 years in this program. Obviously, being selfless, it shows up on the basketball floor as well. She's our team leader in charges taken. You know, that's she's got 7 this year, and a career total of 15. I think I trained her with apple juice last year, and then now I don't fulfill that as much, but she's continued to have that selfless act, and that's how that shows up obviously on the basketball floor, to the obvious, but it's always been with Jordan about making the right play. That's what it's always been, her mentality towards the game and to being a part of this team. It's always been about what is the right play, almost probably to a fault, you know, and that's something that, you know, kind of getting into her basketball skills and things like that. You know, this year was probably the first year I really started to challenge her and say, hey, you know, it's time for you to start stepping out of the shadows a little bit and start making more plays and thinking about making more plays and being someone who we need to be more of a scorer, because I knew that this group was going to do that. And again, it took a little while for her to kind of get there, but now we're starting to see that confidence really show, and again, the big plays are starting to happen, the big shots are starting to happen with a little bit more frequency than they had in the past. A couple other things, you know, obviously I've always kind of, you know, people have asked, I've always kind of described Jordan as like, you know, a glue player or a connector, you know, those type of things that, you know, basketball people understand how critical and how important it is. The game always tends to go smoother when Jordan's on the floor, and that's just, there's no metric for that probably or stats for that, but it's a smoother game, and coaches feel more comfortable when Jordan's on the floor. And again, that connects to a lot of the winning that we've done over these 4 years. Captain of our defense, obviously a lot of great communication back there, battles like crazy down low, and has had to do that for years in the back of our zone, as well as outstanding court vision. You know, and that's something that's going to continue to play very well as she moves forward. I'm not extremely familiar with Wartburg's style of play, but I know they're going to get a player, you know, and as Mr. Walters mentioned, you know, they've done a lot of winning in the last few years, and I don't know how long that goes back, but they're getting another winner here. They're getting somebody who's going to be able to step in and do what it takes, and she knows what it takes. And I'm super excited about continuing to see her grow in some more of those more obvious statistics. Her shooting skill is getting great, and she's going to step into another winning program, and it's not even going to be a question of how much she's going to continue to contribute to that. So again, Jordan, I'm very thrilled you found a great fit academically, obviously athletically. I really want to thank you for everything you've done for this program, and of course, congratulations on this great opportunity.
So Coach Rucky talked about being a leader in charges this year. I think that's what I heard. So again, sorry that no microphone. I think you lead the team one other step this year, don't you? Technical? No. Joking all aside, I gave her a hard time, and I had to do it today because it didn't work the other night. I don't joke about technicals. I always pull kids in when they get technicals until I heard what this technical was. So the reason I'm bringing it up here is because we can laugh about it. I've never heard it as a rule. I can't find it as a rule anywhere. And I was talking to coaches, and I was like, well, hey, I really need to talk to Jordan about this. Like, do it. And I couldn't stop laughing. So she just makes sure at the college level you can get in bounds quick enough. And again, I sorry I had to do that to you, but I was like, we got to find a way to work this thing in. So again, it's not something I joke about. I don't appreciate technicals, but in that situation, seriously, I've never heard about it. She didn't get in bounds fast enough. And that was what she was teeing up for. But at this time, this gentleman, I don't know if he knows that he was going to speak, but Jordan would like him to, so I'd like to introduce her trainer and summer coach, Mr. Gene Hughes.
Okay, so I don't want to bore you because it seems like I'm here a lot, which is a very good thing. So congrats to you. Congrats to Jordan and her family. What I do want to say about Jordan, we were just talking about it a little bit. I've seen her for many years at a lot of camps, a lot of clinics. When you stay around the gym, you work really hard, it means something. You will find yourself in a place like this able to go to the next level. something else that's really, really important is family. And I always give kudos to the parents and whoever else is around, involved in the student athlete's life. And as you know, this family, I mean, they probably get up and run 10 miles a day, things like that. I mean, it takes a certain type of discipline. And so with that type of discipline, and on a serious note, with that type of discipline, it's had that instilled in her. She's used that throughout her whole life. And you can see that in the times that she comes to training, not wanting to miss training, never making excuses. That means a lot. And so it means a lot to the parents too, and that's why I tell you congrats. Also with her, I remember, I think even this year I messed it up. I made a post about her. I heard GPA was like somebody's 40-yard dash. It was like really, really 4.75 weighted or something like that. The education is just a different level. Something you will constantly hear me say, the ball at some point in your life, it stops. It will stop bouncing because you have to have something as a goal past basketball. Right? Just like what I always say, you play sports, or in this case basketball, as motivation so you'll never fall back. That education is key. So I wanted to tell her congrats with that and continue to go with that because she's going to be whatever she desires to be in life. That's super important. So I just want to tell her things. Also, they mentioned charges. I did not know that. So that's very good because I wanted to tell you, as basketball players and as this school in particular, it's something with the system. It's something with the system on why you should be actually very excited to play, not only for your coaching staff or to go to this school, but to play for each other. I don't know one player on your team right now that wakes up and is like, oh, I need to score 20 today. I work with a lot of athletes. I know a lot of athletes like that. I don't know one person on the team like that, on any level. And if I'm wrong, kick me, but I don't know anybody like that. That's why you have so much success here. And that's how she is as well. She doesn't wake up like that. It's, what can I do to help my team? And with the education level, with that, that's why so many of you, whether it's basketball, whether it's cross country or anything else, that's why so many of you are able to go to the next level. So I just wanted to say, not only just speaking to Jordan, but to all of you, continue to do what you do. Continue your success here at this particular high school, and continue being a leader on the basketball court, and congrats again.
We have one more person to introduce before we get back to Jordan and her actually signing her paperwork. I'm assuming first coach and individual who continues to push her to see him in the gym at all hours, her father.
I've coached Jordan since third grade, probably, I would assume, over 800 AAU games. It seems like a lot, but there's a span of about 3 years where she played on 2 teams for us. So that's 9 Wildcat seasons. So if you add in all the games, it's over 800 games at least. The things that, for me as a coach, that sets Jordan kind of apart, or makes her stand out, just like Coach Brunke said, is her work ethic. I mean, number one, when she steps on the court for practice, she's focused, she's ready to play. All right. In practice and in training, she wants to be pushed. She wants the difficult path. She doesn't want the easy way. She wants to choose where she can be challenged, where she can get out of her comfort zone. That shows up, like I said, in all the practices. And usually, as the team that she was on moved up, my practices got harder and harder. The way I gauged a practice is if at the end of the practice, if her shirt was wet, if it was completely drenched, I knew it was a good practice. If it was a little bit damp, then I didn't push him very hard. So I always strive to push him hard. The second thing is her basketball IQ. Now, basketball IQ is defined as the ability to adjust instinctively, play the game, and adapt to any situation that comes up. Just like Coach Brunke said, her court vision is incredible. You know, what she does when she gets the ball, the first thing she does is her head is up. I mean, she's looking to get the ball down court as fast as she can to make an easy shot. Also, a high basketball IQ is to play the game the right way. In my opinion, in the way that I've coached basketball for 10 plus years, Jordan plays the game the right way. may be old school basketball, but it's the right way. That kind of leads into the next point is being a team player. Jordan has always been team first. She doesn't worry about individual stats. She's more concerned about doing whatever needs to be done in order to secure the win. Okay? She takes pride in doing the things that do not get recognized as much in the media and social media. After games, club games or whatever, she may have had a good game offensively, maybe scored, I don't know, quite a few points. But that's not the thing that she would bring up to me. She would always bring up, hey, did you see that pass? She said, hey, I bet you didn't think I could get that pass three quarters down the court, did you? It's always about, what I did, the little things. Like, hey, I got 2 charges today. That second one hurt pretty bad. Also, what Jordan wanted to talk about to be successful as a player. I kind of told her, said, look at basketball like this. Like you've got a line of buckets. Okay, you got a bucket for points, you got a bucket for assists, you got a bucket for steals, one for rebounds, one for defense, which includes charges, also includes deflections. You got one for 50-50 balls. I said, it's not how much you put in just in one bucket, but that you put something in as many buckets as you can, okay? What I mean by that is that, just like I think Gene said something about, we don't have players in this program that worry about how many points we score. I will take a player who has 8 points, 5 steals, 6 rebounds, takes a couple charges, goes on the floor for the 50-50 balls, gets 6 assists over somebody that scores 20 points any day of the week. That player is more valuable as a team player than an individual who just scores points. I truly believe that. The last thing about Jordan, she's an Iron Man, Iron Woman, whatever. What I say about that? In the 800 plus games that she's played in club, and all the games that she's played, middle school, high school, well over 1,000 games, she's never missed a game. Okay? Never has missed a game. I mean, she's rolled her ankles, she's got scratches, bruises, bite marks. There's a game that we played in Indianapolis where it's a semifinal game where she was diving after the ball. The opponent player was going down, Jordan hit the player's knee. Jordan looked up, the players next to me on the bench said, ooh, look at her nose. Her nose was displaced a little bit. It wasn't until she started bleeding that I had to take her out of the game. So she came out of the game, I kind of manipulated the nose a little bit. She stopped bleeding. We had to put her back in, just like Coach Brunky said. She's someone that you have to have on the court. I needed that calming effect because we were up when she went out. We were down when she had to go back in. We ended up winning the game. So, like I said, the fact that she will play through about anything is incredible. Play that many games and be able to continue. The last thing I want to do is kind of talk about whenever we mentioned the signing. There's a couple coaches that reached out to me and said, hey, I know I can't be there, but I would like to say something about Jordan. The first is Aaron Westland, Coach Westland. He's one of our national coaches at Wildcats, but he's also the head coach for Borland. He said Jordan is a coach's dream. She's high skilled and a team first player. She is willing to take on whatever role is needed to help the team to be successful. Wartburg is lucky to have Jordan to be part of the program. Coach Watkins from Rockton College said Jordan has been a pleasure to coach over the past 2 seasons. She's always motivated, works extremely hard, being one of the first in the gym and the last to lead, solid fundamentally. Not only does Jordan display success on the court, she does the same in the classroom. And the last is from Chuck Lynn. He's the director of Wildcats. It's a little bit long, but he wanted me to read it. I could talk about the remarkable player Jordan has developed into, but it's the person she has grown into that's even more remarkable. Jordan started with the Wildcats program over 9 years ago. She has always been a good teammate and demonstrated an incredible work ethic since joining the program. But in addition to the work she puts in on her own game, Jordan has always been generous with her time to help others. From the hours she spent making online training videos for other athletes to follow, or the help she is giving with training younger athletes, to even serving as an assistant coach for one of her teams, Jordan has always been willing to help others. We will miss Jordan for sure, but we are very excited to watch her at the next level. Jordan, you're an example for what a student athlete should strive for. Wartburg College, getting a solid addition to their team, in their classroom, and in their community. We will look forward to following your college career. Congratulations, Jordan.
So, as we've heard, high praise, Jordan, and well-deserved. Again, can't congratulate you and your family enough. This is an awesome day. But now it is time that we sign your commitment papers to Wartburg.